Spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of neither means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
Islam and love. Islam and love. Peace, 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 peace. Islam, Sheikh.
Peace, Noble Dantes. How you doing today, my brother?
Feeling good, feeling great, Sheikh. Great workout this morning. Islam, how you feeling?
Man, you know, I'm always on 10, man. I'm always on 10. Point blank. I feel good. Man, I didn't get that much sleep. I'm not gonna lie. I was up to probably about like 4 in the morning, studying, sending documents.
Peace.
Peace, Noble B.
Peace, Noble Brian.
Noble Brian Hicks Bay. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Excellent on this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm about to the wedding today. I mean, not right now, but yeah. So that's my event for the day.
You say what, Noble?
I say I'll be attending the wedding today, not right now, but right now I'm cool waiting on the wedding. But yeah, I'm just, good, beautiful Saturday.
Islam. Union is always a beautiful thing. Unions are always a beautiful thing. Yes, peace, sir. Noble Malik. Peace.
Peace, Noble Malik. Peace.
Noble Malik.
Can somebody give us our Moorish American prayer before we get started?
Islam. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, Shalom Aleichem, Ashaya, Hotep, Islam, Amen. Peace.
Peace.
Well, I was going to clear up some things. Today is Saturday. It's our civics adapt history class. So I always like to be matter-of-factual. I never lead anyone into a burning house. But I tell a lot of my brothers and sisters, we don't know how to read. I'm sorry. We don't know how to read. We can be looking at something and then try to make your own understanding. Try to arbitrarily explain something. And you can't do that. We're not in the arena of doing things because we like people. We do things that's right, and we don't entertain individuals or bull crap conversations. It's almost like when Larry Bird was trying to play Michael Jordan for his Big Mac. Larry Bird trying to play Michael Jordan for his Big Mac. Larry Bird is challenging Michael Jordan for his Big Mac. Larry Bird didn't have a Big Mac. Do you understand the analogy, what I'm saying, y'all?
It's long. Michael Jordan had everything to lose.
Come on.
Had everything to gain.
Come on. This is what I'll be telling you when you use your brain. Like, wait a minute, why am I even entertaining this? I don't know. So we're going to talk about some things, history, and clear some things up. You can put the shoe on the foot if you have the brain. Because all the stuff that's been promulgated since the COVID, when more science got popular to people, and I've been telling people from day one, is sovereign citizen, Roger Elvick, Paradigm Group, European militia, you're going to jail. No one is over here is no damn consulate general of Morocco. No Negro over here is no Moroccan general. No Negro over here in the United States of America is no foreign national. That is some of the most crazy, idiotic stuff that can come out of anybody's mouth. Talk about you want to expatriate from the de facto government. Then when you do that, smart guy, you would be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. These is facts. People around here playing a stupid game with individuals because we retarded. I have to talk about this. I see Moore's on TikTok with Fairs on no disrespect, European pages, and they talking some Roger Elvick sovereign citizen stuff. And here you goofy Negroes on there talking about, ooh, I need that information. They just building a RICO case. I don't care what nobody said. You get on here with your stupid stuff, I'm gonna start calling your names out. My mother told me to be nice and share my toys, but I'm gonna stop not sharing my toys with people.
Islam.
These people are on a domestic terrorist list. They talk about some counseling courts. Well, let me tell you what the real counseling courts say from academia. 1893. This, you see what this say? Counseling courts. Carroll Law School. Historical theses and dissertations collection. Historical Cornell Law School. Historical Cornell Law School. Not no mess, no Negroes. Just, oh, I'm gonna piece this together and piece this together because you think we stupid. Ain't no Negro over here in the United States is no consulate general of no stupid Morocco. These Negroes grew up on 2100 Jackson Street. They ain't never left the city that they were born in. These Negroes don't have no dual citizenship. If you had dual citizenship, you would be a Bosnian American. Like I married one of my wife, one of her co-workers, a nurse. She was a Bosnian American. She had dual citizenship. Nobody on here got dual citizenship. You will sit up on here and lie through your teeth. These Negroes grew up on 2100 Jackson Street, and they never left their city. So when they come with all this stuff, oh, I know this. You don't know nothing. Let me read the counselor court for you. I'm gonna make this clear for all you Negroes that's criminals out here showing people how to be criminals on the internet. You making a police job very, very easily. Criminal. I'm not calling you no dirty more. I'm calling you a criminal. And it's premeditated. Why? Because they know what they're doing. That's why. So watch this. The treaty between the United States and Morocco gives to the council of the former exclusive jurisdiction in disputes among the citizens of the United States, So now you ask the Negro, are you a citizen? They don't know. They don't even want to deal with cities because we just listen to people on the internet. But don't you know that feds can be a dunce hat as well? It's the person that's under the feds that makes it wisdom. Put your butt in a corner, like Lil Jack Horner sat in the corner and put the feds on your head as a dunce hat, make you turn your goofy self around in the corner and count to 100 backwards. And in criminal cases, it is provided by the 21st article of the same treaty, which reads, if a citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, or, I hope you know what or mean, on the contrary, if a Moor shall kill or wound a citizen of the United States, the law of the country takes place, and equal justice shall be rendered, the counsel assisting at the trial. And if any delinquent shall make his or her escape, the counsel shall not be answerable for him in any matter whatsoever. The treaty between the United States and Madagascar, entered into 1881, gives to the United States counsels exclusive jurisdiction over disputes and offenses, either civil or criminal, committed among the citizens of the United States residing in Madagascar. And in this case, of all disputes and offenses, civil or criminal, committed by the citizens of the United States against the subject of Madagascar, or vice versa, shall be investigated, tried, and adjudicated by mixed courts. There are in Madagascar mixed superiors and inferior courts. An appeal may be taken from the inferior courts to superior courts, where original jurisdiction is also exercised. I'll stop right there. That's why I be telling people, it's like, man, you're gonna go straight to jail. Don't pass go. You ain't even gonna collect $200. I be trying to tell y'all this. And grown people, I say, are y'all out here playing a stupid game? Or are y'all really some criminals and somebody paying you to get on the internet and convince a whole bunch of people that they stupid? Excuse my candor.
Sound like they being instructed to teach people that they, what you just said, the latter, stupid. Like
yeah, Dante. This is what I'm saying. And people are like, ooh, that's a harsh word. No, they ain't. Look it up in the dictionary what stupid is. I use words like this is stupid.
Islam.
This is what I'm telling people. This all this stuff, no one never went. If your social security number is attached to some millions of dollars, then the goofball telling you that should have $1 million already. Because he got a social security number too. Retardo fardo. You ain't no alien. You got a belly button just like me, stupid. And that's why this is how you're supposed to talk to someone when they coming to you with some of the most outlandish stuff, Dantes. Who the hell you think you talking to?
Just craziness.
Yes, you don't come with them with no reason. Just like if somebody trying to bust your head wide open and you go get the Bible. It just says the Lord. Man, you better defend yourself or kick rocks.
They said something dumb. What you say back to them?
Yeah.
Because they're talking to you like you don't know, and maybe you don't, but some do.
We don't make up no law. We don't here to overthrow no government. That's why I say civics. In order to teach civics, you got to know how to be civil. You got to know what the hell you talking about. We talking about, oh, I'm dealing with civics. You ain't dealing with no civics. You a damn sovereign citizen. You promulgate Roger Elvick paradigm, that paradigm group in Canada, that European militia stuff. Tell me you not. Yes, you are. Oh, I'm gonna cancel some corporate debt. Man, your goofy ass don't have no corporate debt. You show me one nigga that got some corporate debt. None. You see how stupid this stuff is?
Islam.
Oh, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Okay, when you put your car in a position to go, what do it say? Do it say traveling or drive?
Drive.
Okay. I just asked you a question and you were hangman yourself. These people stupid. And after you do all that dumb stuff, Dantes, how much money they got? How their lives change? Not one freaking bit. Not one freaking bit. So you're doing a whole bunch of stuff that's meaningless.
Acting. It's like they acting almost like you putting up a front as if you're doing this, and that. You're not doing anything. So you acting. You're just putting up a front. You're trying to get people to believe in something that you promulgating, which is just nothing, just a big lie. Because there's no such thing as a sovereign and a citizen. You can't.
It got to be some criminal stuff, Dantes. Because not only Moors doing it, it's Europeans doing it. I can show you all on TikTok because I say stuff. I can show you stuff. Europeans, Albia, Trilodite, Anglo-Saxon, whatever the hell you want to call them, on the internet saying the same thing. And your social security number this, I can do this and get you for this. European white women saying the same thing that these Negroes with the feds on saying the same thing. And they got that generated auto response. The same every time somebody says something, it's a generated auto response. I'm telling you, everybody know I'm telling the truth. That's some European militia, sovereign citizen, Roger Elvick, criminal behavior. And then these Negroes done got their butt caught up trying to be some paper terrorists. I don't care how nobody feel. Somebody have to talk about it like this. Because I'm not going to let these small group of people, Dantes, give us a bad rap. And then people be like, well, Moors are this. No, ain't no such thing as no sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. How these goofy Negroes going to be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? That is the stupidest thing ever. Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. How? Stupid. How are you a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? That's an oxymoron. Research what an oxymoron is. See, this ain't no disrespect. And ain't no Negro over here in the United States of America, no consulate general of Morocco, or no president of no damn Morocco. If you think that, then y'all got to be some of the most, that's why they think a lot of these people is retarded and crazy, Dantes. And that's another issue I wanted to say as well. You know, because people done took all this paper terrorist stuff and mix it up and like it's more science. And all these people is looked at as domestic and terrorists. We should be able to talk about this.
Islam.
No man, no woman can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and your forefathers. If a man can nationalize you, Dantes, then tell him to nationalize a Sudanese, a Chinese. No man has no power to do that. The great God Allah don't even have no power to do that. Islam. Yahweh, whatever you want to call it. So when we sit up here and play these games with ourselves, especially as Moors, and if people don't like Moors, then we have to start doing research and look up Amazigian, free men. When we look at in history, when people say, well, the Moors did this and the Moors killed this, man, we talk about times in history. We talk about different militia groups. We talk about when the Congo was empowered by Leopold, and Leopold used the fez as part of his army uniform for his regiment. Hitler, part of his regiment, studied Islam and wore the fez and studied the Quran. So when people just be spewing up at the mouth, they really don't be all the way historical. Because if you go to a place, Noble Dantes, and it's only a group of people there that's melanated, who the crime gonna be against? The people that's there. We ain't talking nothing deep.
Islam, the people that's
I mean,
there already.
Yeah, like the stuff be killing me. Like that's not even deep.
Islam.
Crips and Bloods, them Negroes killing each other now. Negroes on the internet act like they gonna kill each other over some Jesus and Muhammad. Don't you talk about Muhammad? Don't you talk about my Jesus? I'm gonna kill you, nigga. Man, both of you fools retarded.
Islam. And Sheikh, I was just gonna say, when you nationalize something, it means that a national government takes ownership or control of private assets, industries, or resources, such as business, land, or natural resources, and makes them state-owned or state-run. And this transfer of ownership or control is often a response to, it could be maybe economic crisis or a strategic, political, or economic, or for strategic, political, or economic reasons even. Just so we understand nationality, or to nationalize, and why you can't just nationalize somebody, because what I just said, that's what you taking ownership or control of something that's private. If you private or you public. When you look at it, I guess it's a
go ahead, Dantes.
Islam. Go ahead, Sheikh. Islam.
No, you go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, a national government takes ownership or control of private assets, industries, or resources, such as businesses, land, or natural resources, and makes them state-owned or state-run. This transfer of ownership or control is often a response to economic crises or for strategic, political, or economic reasons. When we say, when we saying you can't nationalize nobody, because what I read. If you are nationalized, understand what I just read, and it's like, wow, you must be public.
Yeah. For the record.
Because
see, that's why people don't understand the power of
something that's private.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how are you identifying is the point. Because if you can identify one way, but that's identifying with something that's public, that's owned by something else. Basically.
That's why when we talk about redeemed,
America's a little different. Islam.
Yeah. When you redeemed, adopted.
Islam.
When your religious rights trump all, when things are taught the right way, nobody will deny what you're saying. The right way, when it's taught the right way, when it's taught, you be like, damn. When you can see it with your eye, you can sit down, you will see with a clear eye, with everything we're talking about, you will understand naturalization. You will understand it. When we having discussion, you will understand why, because you will ask questions. And then when people coming with bits and pieces and joking around in the midst of, and when you ask questions, and then it's almost like Hansel and Gretel, you just be lost in the middle of the wilderness. That's what happened to a lot of people, because it's truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Only way you got caught up is it got to be a little something in that madness that you want to hear. It's just like the rat poison. The rat not gonna go to the poison if it ain't something in there enticing to the rat, even though it's poison. You understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? So when we talking, especially us as Moors, we have to defend it from the right way. I love Noble Drew Ali, but you was a Moor before the Prophet. Before Noble Drew Ali, you had Deuce Muhammad Ali that wrote papers and stuff. You had Abdul Hamid Solomon. You had the Moor guy, Abdul Hamid Solomon. I mean, it was Moors. Ancient people were Moors. And so when we talking about these things, how people try to say they can make you something, We already proved it from the letter from the CCRD that the 1099 is not no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. That's a religious affidavit. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. And you can get it official or unofficial if you pay a couple dollars. Why? Because it's for the public. Because it's for the public. And when people get on here and just be making stuff up, I don't care how young or how old they are, Dantes, that means they have a motive. And a motive is what? To lie to you, because the truth is right in your face.
It's long.
1099 is not no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. It's a religious affidavit, and it's available to everyone in a CCRD from the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds. And I have them. If anybody wants them, you can get it from us and put them in your file.
It's long.
You know, and I don't have to say names, but it was some of them older Moors that said they had the power to do this, to make Moorish American members, to make sheiks and all this stuff, to nationalize, aka make or denationalize any human, is both a sin and a crime. It's both a sin and a crime. I just tell people that, I say, hey, don't no man have the power to do that. Well, I'm finna nationalize, I'm finna make this man, he finna nationalize me. What he finna do? What he finna nationalize you? What paper he finna give you, Noble Dantes? Some shit that he done skewed my candor, some stuff that he went to Office Max and Staples and did,
Yeah,
which don't mean nothing. You see, and people know it's the truth, and you give these individuals all your information. Like, all right, we can't be crazy. We can't be crazy. But yes, we are. Yes, we are. We paper terrorists.
Paper terrorists.
I'm just making it plain, Dantes.
Islam. Islam.
We almost there.
Paper terrorists.
Yeah, paper terrorists. That's what brothers are. They are paper terrorists. I call them domestic terrorists, foreign and abroad. That's what they are. They don't even know it. No God, prophet, or man has the power to nationalize any man, woman, or child. And those that have taken away a man's true identity, those criminals. The practice gave the courts and outside world, y'all, the illusion that the Moorish Science Temple of America was a religion whose members under the tenets were nationalized with the name Moorish American and loaned to organizational marks of El and Bay. But this nationalization hoodwinking, Dantes, was never empowered or practiced by our prophet Noble Drew Ali or any upright man. All that filing that paperwork, that ain't nothing we done. No man has the power to nationalize another man. This will change him from the descendant nature of his forefathers. Because if one can make, which we call nationalize, a Moorish American, then one can also make a Chinese or Irish or Sudanese at will. Ask them that. They'll run. They'll run. And we don't have to stay all the way in that, because we making a point when I say we everything. Even when we get to the main topic, white bylaw, even when I show people this. Because I remember a lecture that Dr. What's his name? Dr. Wesley. What's his name? From the Nation of Islam. Dr. Yeah. And I love his scholarship because he a PhD. I love his scholarship. I love his zeal and everything. And he was debating a European a rabbi, which I'd be laughing because, you know, that it'd be so funny. Will you know your stuff? The first thing they
talking about nothing.
Come on, and it ain't no disrespect. And then they try to say, well, the color this, but your text said your Talmud is racist, talking about the black skin, talking about that curse. Don't get mad at me. And then they be trying to say that the scholars that wrote about it is not the authority, but their word is the authority. Dude, stop the cap. Because all the ancient texts is gonna go back to what I'm saying if you know the language. But then they try to say
it was about something.
Huh?
They adopted something and they trying to make it seem like they started something.
I try to say when we talk about a language, when I talk about the blue God and all this stuff, like when you see the Jews on their tassels, it's blue. But then when I can show you a whole bunch of ancient history, what that blue mean, that blue God. See, and they know it. It's in their manuscripts, and they know what certain colors mean, but they try to play you because most brothers, the average brothers, are not scholars, are not linguistics to know the cross-reference and fact check it. I'm trying to tell you what I know, Dantes.
The blue has to be significant. It has to be significant because I was saying, can you hear me? The blue has to be significant because You're saying the even when you think of different different Hindu religions and things.
Ding,
They're
ding,
blue.
ding,
Even with
ding, Dantes.
it's blue.
Now you starting to put pieces together, Dantes. The blue
Mhm,
god of Judaism. They
mhm,
know what color was the ticklet, the Tekhelet. See, we can start bringing things full circle. That's like when you get Peter Moon, the Montauk, when you see the blue people, when you look at the Avatar, see a lot of stuff, and then you see those Moors or Muslims in a certain continent of Africa, and they trying to say they dark like that from the blue of their garments. Stop the cap.
mhm.
See, we can go all the way. I can use their history and their text to back up what I'm saying. And then the so-called rabbis be act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Dantes, see, I just show them this right here.
It's long. It's long.
Dantes, hey, they be like, well, what's that, see? I said, come on, man, you know what I'm showing you. The blue god of Judaism.
It's long.
The rabbis know this. When I start breaking down rabbis, Rabbi Rabu dos Santos, Tetiera, he would be knowing I'll be breaking down their science, the blue god of Judaism. The blue god of Judaism, that God that Jews worship, is a blue as the Hindu god Shiva. Just like in the Bible, listen, man, that's why I love my Jewish brothers and sisters, because I can say, what God you talking about? Because in the Bible, they're talking about two gods. Jacob is Yakub in the Bible. You know that, right?
It's long.
I bet you the rabbis know what I'm talking about. I bet you they know what I'm talking about. See, the God that the Jews worship is blue as the Hindu god Shiva, the supreme being in Shaivism, the oldest sect within Hinduism. Like he was saying, Dantes, the ancient Hebrews were more similar to the modern day Hindus than Jews. They acknowledge the existence of deities other than the YHWH. I don't care how you pronounce it, Yahushua, Yahweh, whatever the hell you want to say, excuse my candor, whom Christians generally refer to as Yahweh. And like their neighbors, look to pantheon of gods and goddesses to satisfy their individual and collective needs. The principal deity, however, became and remained YHWH, whom they imagine as having anthropomorphic form. And I'll just stop right there because I can go so deep with it. Why? Because I love the biblical scriptures. I'll get all in the book of Daniel. Remember, it is the color of the Lord's body that interests us here. The examination of biblical, Talmudic, Mishric, and mystical texts reveals that the Lord's body is blue. You can't deny what I'm saying. The Hebrew term Tarshish, Sephir, and Tiklet that convey the blueness of YHWHs. That's why those European Jews that speak Yiddish, they got the blue tassels on. Accent, the masculine form. Countermints and the dough come from the Sanskrit. Not surprisingly, which by itself invites greater exploration and comparison of the similarities between Judaism and Hinduism, particularly Shaivism. See, these are facts. What you're talking about, Sheikh, the book of Daniel. We turn not to fragments of an ancient manuscript acquired on the antiquities market, but the book of Daniel, the last work to enter the canon of the Tanakh, which Christians refer to as what? The Old Testament. Taking final shape in the mid-century BCE, it refers to events that took place much earlier in the 16th century BCE. Man, I can go on and on to show you with the eye. With your eye, when I can show you, it means something. The Tarshish, a keyword in Daniel's description of the man describing in linen, is bearer, B-E-R-Y-L, Tarish, or T-A-R-S-H-I-S-H, Noble Dantes in Hebrew. The New Jewish Publication Society version of the Tanakh 7 times translate Tarshish as the common noun, bearer, and 24 times incorporates it directly into the English as the proper noun, Tarshish. In English translations of the Old Testament, when Tarshish is translated, bearer appears the most frequently, followed by chrysolite and topaz. You see, they talk about color don't matter. So what is beryl or beryl, B-E-R-Y-L, or beryllium, aluminum, crystallic or crystallicite is a mineral which ranges in size from a few millimeters to several meters, normally translucent or transparent. The presence of impurities results in its occurring in a variety of colors. Colorless beryl is known as pure beryl, green beryl as emerald, pink beryl as morganite, red beryl as bixbyite, bright yellow beryl as golden beryl, and blue beryl as aquamarine. Yeah, to Daniel's eyes. Yeah, to Daniel's eyes. Did the man whose body was like beryl appear to be clear, green, pink, red, bright yellow, or blue? The meaning of Tarshish, whether used as a common or proper noun, suggests that Daniel saw a man whose body was like blue beryl or aquarium. And then when you get Peter Moon's book, when he talk about the blue people in Ethiopia, Africa, come on, man, now.
Islam.
Come on, Dantes.
Islam.
You see, in the following 6 verses, we in class. In the following 6 verses of the Tanakh, translates Tarshish as beryl. Exodus 28 and 20, Exodus 39 and 13, Ezekiel 1 and 16, Dantes, Ezekiel 10 and 9, Ezekiel 28 and 13, and the Song of Songs 5 and 14. Look, let's take a quick look at these verses just real fast as I proceed, because we on amazing time.
Wow.
Exodus 28 and 20, and Exodus 39 and 13, in Exodus 28 and 20, Noble, and Exodus 39 and 13, Tarshish, beryl, is the name of a gemstone in the high priest's breastplate of decision, appearing in the 4th row of mounted stone. Fact check me. Targum Onklios to Exodus translate Tarshish, not as barely, but as the color of the sea. The late Sidney Heaney, professor of the Bible and Jewish history at Yeshiva University, described the color of the gemstone Tarshish as aquamarine, the sea blue or the sea green variety of the beryl, and understood Tarshish, beryl, in Daniel 10 and 6 as a reference to this stone, y'all. And if Daniel prophecy is right for all my Christians, if the Messiah leave one way, he's going to come back the same way he left. See, man, come on. Come on, brothers and sisters. Throughout the entire Bible.
What's on the inside? Islam.
That's what Noble Dantes. Come on, Noble.
Blue,
Islam.
That's what you're going to see. The color on the inside. That's what you're going to see.
Come on, Dantes. Yes, sir. This is the true gospel. We don't dish the gospels here. Why should we? Tarshish is to be consistently understood as the general expression for the sea. Now, all this confers sea, water, more, rowing, all this stuff. You see how all this stuff start connecting? Can you see what I see? Yes, you can see.
Marsh, yeah. All of this.
Come on.
Marshy.
Yes.
Islam.
Even other Jewish scholars and writers, Ibn Yahya, Tarshish, as used in Daniel 10 and 6, refers to the color of a particular gemstone, a precious stone resembling techelet, the Tekhelet. Fact check me. He goes on to say that Tarshish is an allusion to the heavens, which in their physicality appear bluish. And he then defines Tekhet as a blue dye. You hear what? Now the blue dye, derived from a Mediterranean snail that is applied to some of the tzitzits. You know, the fringes attached to the 4 corners of the garments, our talents and stuff in fulfillment. And you see the European Jew, you see they tassels under their clothing, the kids too. They know, but they act stupid and try to act like data officials of it. Well, that ain't what, man, stop the cap. Let's deal with the scholarship. They will never pull out the scholars because they can't. Because it's going to fact check them. And they know when you want the truth, you can always deal with the truth. What the Talmud say? Well, I don't believe in the Talmud. Okay. Commandment found in Numbers 15, 37, and 41, and Deuteronomy 22 and 12. I'm showing y'all this. Ezekiel 1 and 16, write it down. Ezekiel 10 and 9, because we about to move forward. In Ezekiel 1 and 1, the prophet proclaims, the heavens opened, and I saw visions of God. He goes on to describe 4 incredibly fantastic creatures, don't he? Each of which had what? 4 wings and 4 faces, right? One of a human being, right? One of a lion, one of an ox, and one of an eagle, right? And the next to each creature was what? A wheel, the rim of which was what? Covered with what? Eyes. The prophet reports that the wheels, there were what? 4 of them. Gleam like what? Beryl. Gleam like what? Beryl. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Ezekiel 1 and 16. And later on, he sees the wheels again, describing them as like what? Beryl stone in 10 and 19. Am I telling you the truth? You know I am. This is the true gospels. Ezekiel, in the opinion of Merkabah, the mystics, and others throughout the centuries, glimpsed the Lord's Merkabah, or chariot in which the Lord travels while sitting enthroned. And a lot of stuff them people be saying is only they be talking about stuff like prophecy. They can't tell you the truth because when I show them, like, you ain't talking about something that's current. They talking about something that's bound to happen in the future. Stuff ain't even happened at that time. So when they be just run at the mouth, it's easy to fact check the lies. So I just want to make that point. We can look beyond the Bible to look for more evidence of the Lord's blue body. Watch this. We begin by turning our attention to the mystical Shur, the Qumah, the SHI-UR-QOMAH. Write that down, y'all. The measurement of the divine body, because I'll get that to y'all. It's called the measurement of the divine body. Put it in the text stream so I can make sure I get it to you. Which more than likely was composed during the Gonic period in Babylonia between the 6th and the 7th centuries CE, drawing it her on what appears to be ancient sources materials. This work describes measures and the name parts of the Lord's body, 7 calculating the distance between various parts. When we talk about arm, leg, arm, head, when I can show you a mathematical equation, I can show you a mathematical equation with the YHW too. With the YHWH2, I can show you the same mathematical equation. How? I'm going to stand them both up. I'm going to stand them both up. I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to stand them both up and they both going to symbolize and speak the same science. The Lord's body, through anatomically similar to a man's appearance, to be strikingly different. For example, the unidentified narrator who introduced the text says to the Lord, "You are fire." And Rabbi Akavav, who testifies to what Metatron told him about the Lord, says his height is 2 billion parsecs. I'm not going to go deeper with it, but the Hebrew of Daniel in 10 and 6, Bugatio Chitash, is his body was like Tarshish, occurs in all 5 recisions of the Shir Oma. The authors of Daniel and the Shir Oma, by using the Hebrew term Tarshish to describe the Lord's body, are saying that the body of the Lord is blue. That's why I say I don't care what nobody say. A scholar, I can fact check everything. I can take you to the Anu list. I can take you to the all the books when they're talking about the book of Enoch in the Bible. All those things when they talk about, you be like, well, wait a minute. The epic of Gilgamesh. All these stories, they're not going to talk about the 16 crucified saviors before Jesus Christ. Yes, and then we'll be okay. We can search more for the blue body by exploring the meaning of the Hebrew Saphir, S-A-P-I-R, Dantes, and Teketh, the T-E-K-H-E-L-E-T, 2 other bluish terms in the NJPS version of the Tanakh. Saphir, or sapphire, appears 11 times. Saphir, S-A-P-I-R, aka sapphire, like Tarshish and Beryl, is the name of a gemstone and the high priest's breastplate of decision nobles, appearing in the 2nd row of mountain stones, Exodus 28 and 18 and Exodus 39 and 11. This gemstone associates with the Lord, is even stronger in the Song of Songs, elsewhere in Exodus and in Ezekiel. I hope you follow me. In Song of Songs 14, sapphire, also like Tarshish, Beryl, is used to describe the body of the male character who Jewish commentators, as previously mentioned, have long recognized as the Lord. And the female character describes his belly as a as a tablet of ivory adorned with sapphire. In 5 and 14, they noted in Exodus 24 and 10, noble, Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel, they supposed to ascend to the mountain where they saw the God of Israel in 24 and 10. And under his feet, the text tells us there was the likeness of a pavement of what? Sapphire in 24 and 10. In Ezekiel 1 and 27, the prophet Ezekiel sees above the 4 fantastic creatures, right? The semblance of a throne in appearance like what? Sapphire in 1 and 27. And in 10 and 1, he sees something like a sapphire stone, an appearance resembling a throne in 10 and 1. See, we can keep fact checking it. Also, the version of the Tanakh, the tiklik or the blue appears 50 times. The tiklik, the blue, was found throughout the tabernacle, the tent in which the Lord dwelt before the days of the temple. For example, the color tiklik, blue, was incorporated into the 10 stripes of the cloth. You know that, right? They were inscribed into the cloth of all of them, of the Jews. When you see a lot of they garments and our garments, y'all know this, right?
Wow.
I mean, are we okay, y'all?
We learning it. We learning it. It's law.
I mean, I'm saying let me slow down. Let me check the temperature.
Oh, we're in class. It's law.
Okay. I just want people to be okay with what I'm saying and follow me. You know, we ain't disrespecting nobody. We talk about ancient manuscripts. And the YHWH's masculine form, accoutrements, and adult come from Sanskrit, which by itself invites greater exploration and comparison of the similarities between Judaism and Hinduism, particularly Shaivism. You know, y'all gotta know this, man. Y'all know that fragments of an ancient manuscript acquired on the antiquities mark, but to the book of Daniel, and the last work to enter the canon of the Tanakh, which Christians refer to as the Old Testament. Y'all know that, right? Taking final shape in the mid-2nd century, y'all. Come on. You got to remember the dressed linen, his loins, his girt, his fine gold. His body was like beryl, his face an appearance of lightning. His eyes was like flaming torches. His arms and legs had the color of burnished bronze, and the sound of his speech was like the noise of multitude. Through the man dressed in linen that Daniel sees is the most magnificent of the anthropomorphic beings encountered by him in the book bearing his name. And a majority of the Jewish commentators, including Rabbi Abranel, Gaon, and Gershon, did not identify him as the Lord, but as the angel Gabriel. I'm fact checking stuff. The case for identity, the man dressed in linen in 10 and 5, as Gabriel becomes weak rather quickly. The man in Daniel 10 is indeed Gabriel. Why doesn't Gabriel recognize him? Why would the author of this work wait until Daniel 10 to describe in detail a being that appears in both Daniel 8 and 9 and 9? I'm telling y'all, man, like, this is Bible study. When you be like, wait a minute, Sheikh. Because Tarshish, a key word in Daniel's description of the man described in linen, is what? Beryl. Tarshish in Hebrew. This is what I'll be telling people. It's like they know.
Okay.
Come on, y'all.
It's long.
I'm just going backwards.
It's long.
I'm going backwards, y'all.
Long. It's long.
When I showed y'all all beyond the Bible, through the anatomically similar, man's appearance to be strikingly different, all this stuff that the rabbis agree, lines from the short and long versions of the Sefer Hakmah, recession of the seer. They offer stunning visual pictures of the Lord's body, a body both fantastic and gigantic. They have this stuff. The Hebrew of Daniel, all this stuff occurs all 5 recessions. It lines up. when you look for this other stuff, it lines up in their text. I'm telling y'all, man, that color blue, it means something. The cord of blue. Remember in Numbers 15 and 37, the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves what? Fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Because I love my European Jews, but my professors, they'll tell you that they're not the Jews. They Anglo-Saxon. When people talk about Caucasus Mountain, Caucasians, well, those are just Asians from the Caucasus Mountains. Message.
Could you repeat that, Sheikh?
I say, and I quote, that Caucasus Mountain stuff, Caucasian, come from Bloomberg. I said, Europeans, the Revelation 2 and 9, 3 and 9, where it said the Jews are not the real Jews, they from the synagogue of Satan. My professors, that's European Masons, they'll tell you that it's talking about them because they Anglo-Saxon.
Islam.
That's what I just said. I don't care how nobody feel about what I'm saying.
Islam.
They're like, well, yeah, they Anglo-Saxon. You're like, we are Revelation 2 and 9, 3 and 9. In that context, he said, yeah, but we Anglo-Saxon. He said they Caucasian, those are just Asians from the Caucasus Mountain. Caucasians. I mean, come on, we ain't stupid. Caucasians. Caucasians.
Islam. Yeah, Islam is right there. Islam.
I mean,
Islam.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
They claim it. They're just telling you about their history.
Yeah. And then I showed y'all the document where the white. Where it mean in what dictionary did I give y'all? Did I tell y'all what dictionary?
That's the Anglo-Saxon dictionary.
The Anglo-Saxon dictionary.
Islam.
It's in there. It's in the Anglo-Saxon dictionary. And look up how white is spelled. And then you give me an idea. And then I start teaching you. Going back, you'll be like, wait a damn minute, Sheikh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Because I just said they Anglo-Saxon. So if Anglo-Saxon, they got a dictionary. I'll get my European professors. They'll be like, yes, it's no. You can't be mad.
Islam.
Don't it start making sense?
Islam.
I could talk about all that blue and why they do this symbology. But that'll take me forever. Let's go to the next subject. We on great time. See, we in class today. I told y'all everything. I'm not gonna let nobody draw no line down our back. I'm showing you everyone in all ancient history, all ancient Christian history, per se, the Coptic Christianity, Islamic history from Ibn Battuta. I'm telling you everywhere. Where you were at, you the ancient and modern Britain, you the German, you all that. I proved it yesterday. I keep proving it every day through scholarship. I don't care what nobody say. Well, you saying this was this? Yeah, they was this too, and this too, and this too, and that too. Yes, because now we're finna get with the Igbo. Now we're finna get with the Igbo. Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see it right here in my hand. I'm coming with documents, scholarship. From no joke, they know what this is. They all know. All scholars, they know. All of them, they know. European scholars, they know, because one of the European Jews, rabbis went. Here you go, right here. Look, and if you blow this up, he dressed like the tribal people. He dressed like what's my man name? Not Morgan Freeman, Forrest Whitaker. Because Forrest Whitaker is from the same tribe, and the European Jewish rabbi got on his native attire. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Y'all got this document, don't you, Dantes?
Islam, we have that one. Islam.
I'm trying to tell you. All people got to know. And you see, and y'all to be like, damn, Sheikh, on damn near the last page, you see what the European, his name is, Rabbi Yehuda Takua bin Samir, aka Chris Shoemaker, whose title in the Igbo land is Chief Adum Bara Ana Igbo Niwan D Uto, was raised in a Christian home and accepted the Messiah Yahshua Jesus at the tender age of 6 and dedicated his life to the full service for him at age 13, blah, blah, blah. From the point of Rabbi Yehuda, blah, 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 blah. been involved in a multitude of various ministries from churches and synagogues to youth, street, camp, jail, nursing homes, and etc. Sound like me, don't it? I know. He is a graduate of the Free Will Baptist Bible College in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so now he part of the Bible College, the Baptist Bible College. You see, I got a bachelor's degree in this and a master's degree from accredited universities in Nashville, Tennessee, and has received his BA in Bible and mission. I have my master's, and I got a bachelor's in business, and I got my doctor in IDMR. Had his Hataf Dam Brith Jewish conversion performed on him in 2004. Ben had mine. He was trained under the separate rabbis and ordained ordination, Shemach and Nestashri Masonic rabbi by AD International in 2010. Rabbi Yehudi Takwu is an Israeli Igbo researcher, linking the Igbos to the lost tribes of Israel, and has been to Igbo land twice and was given a title in 2010, which was confirmed by Eze Chikwanyika Eri in Abu Ghad during the 2011 Oval Festival. He has also attended and spoke 2011 and 12 at the World Igbo Congress in Toronto, Canada, in Florida. Igbo. I'm just making a point because it ain't gonna take me long with the last part. This is what they don't show you. This is what brothers don't have in their hand. When I say you all at, when you see the tunic, when you see Wentworth Matthews now in Harlem in the 1940s, the Moor Zionist temple of the Moorish Jews. When we out here arguing, set tripping, when I say and goofy Negro, these were the traitors. Man, shut up. There'll be a whole bunch of bums. We don't got time for no bum talk, man. We dealing with wisdom and who we are. Got time, and this person was a traitor. Man, how you weren't even back then? Traded what? Because you don't agree with something? Go sit down.
It's long.
Watch me narrate this. I'm gonna narrate this and we're gonna move. Igbo people all over the world, greetings, shalom, blessings to Chakwu, Abima, praise be to Yahshua. It is my prayer and hope that this book will be a tremendous blessing from God. I pray this book will help all Igbos to understand the plans of God concerning them. I also pray that the true identity of the Igbo people will be made known and solidified in the world. May God of Abraham help Igbo people to take their prophetic destiny and rightful place in Israel, besides their brother Judah and Levi at the tribe of Gad. In Yahshua, Jesus' name, amen. Chief Adam Abra, now we be Dubra. Now watch this. Gad and his sons, Genesis 46-16, and the sons of Gad, Ziphion and Haggai, Suni and Isban, Ari and Aradi and Areli. There is evidence that Gad's sons or descendants of Gad's sons, Eri, Areli, and Aradi, prior to the Exodus, traveled with members of various tribes of Israel, such as Judah, Levi, Zebulun, Nigeria, and became the Igbo people. There is also evidence that even after the Exodus, at different points in history, before and after the Babylonian and Assyrian captivities, the Gadites and other Israeli tribes made their way down to Nigeria to join their brothers whom they knew were already there. See, we keep fact checking them. We know since at least 1789 AD, the Jews have been interested in the possible Igbo-Israel connection when a former Igbo slave named Aloda Equino, and I met a college student that wrote about Aloda Equino and didn't even know this history which I'm giving. I said, how you write about this and didn't know this? Living in London, first proposed that the Igbo-Israel relationship is an autobiography. Anglican missionary G.T. Baston, the first to minister to the Igbo, wrote many books which claimed and connect the Igbo tribes of Israel. Several editions of the Encyclopedia Britannica in 1929 connect the Igbo people to Gad. A Torah commentary on the Shema in 1922 made the Igbo-Gad connection also. Some Igbos, including Dr. Arif, recalls Israelis visiting Igbo land and investigating such claims during the Biafran War. Research this, the Biafran War. Y'all can research this stuff. I'm telling you. They interpreted their name Igbo as a mixed pronunciation Hebrew. And still today, the members pray to Chukwu, Abima, Abraham's God, The Igbos, well known for their struggle for independence in the Biafra War, are now considered the Jews of Nigeria and have contributed greatly to the intellectual and economic development in the country. You know, I'm telling you, I can go deep and deep with it. In the White House memo dated Tuesday, January 28, 1969, President Nixon, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, described the Igbos as the wandering Jews of West Africa, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented, but mostly despised by their neighbors in the Federation. Foreign Relations Document, Volume E5, Documents on Africa, 1969 and 1972. You see how prophetic this is? When I say, yes, we all at. But today, on paper, I know I'm a Moor. I know I can tell you who I am. I'm not a slave. You have the right. See, can't nobody tell you. And see, this is the thing when you create your own. You don't got to get authority. This ain't no Black Christian codes. This ain't no Protestant. This ain't no overseer. We have our own scholars. We have our own charters. We have the right not to assimilate. The religious laws of indigenous people clearly say we have the right to do what I'm doing right now. If the damn Ku Klux Klan and all the other fraternities and hate groups have the right to assimilate, we have the right to assimilate as a brotherhood with a charter and get permits to do the same thing. That's why I tell brothers, I don't care what nobody else doing. What we doing, Dantes?
Islam, Sheikh. Islam.
Because the evidence I've been given, cultural evidence links the Igbos to God. When I be telling my Israelite brothers, I said, dude, are you listening to what I'm saying? And I talk about the Moorish Ishmaelite, and I said, brother, with like, I hope you hear what I'm saying. I'm down with the Israelite, but I'm Hebrew. That's just an act, and an act don't change your blood and your bloodline. So I'm not retarded. You shouldn't be either. But y'all remember in 1789, Aluda Equina, OLAUDAEQUIANO, Igbo, and a former slave who lived in London, said in his autobiography, and I got the book for y'all. I encourage everybody to read it. I encourage every college student to read it. If you got a son, a daughter, if anybody going to school, they need to read. Everything I'm telling you is eye-opening, and the professor is going to be in awe because they try to bury stuff in the shallow grave. But we know how to read today.
Islam.
In his autobiography, the Igbos were one of the lost tribe of Israel, and cited the many identical cultural similarities between them and the Jews. When the missionaries came to Nigeria to evangelize, aka colonize, they were dumbfounded to discover that the Igbo people practiced many barbaric Jewish customs, which they could not have learned from anyone else. It had to come from ancient practice of their people from antiquity, their forefathers, nobles, for they had no Bibles and met no one with a Bible until the missionaries, aka colonizers, came. See, these is facts. They had no one with no Bible come to tell them how to do. Food, the Bible you talking about is us. We have our oral stories. You gonna come with some Bible. How about you teaching me something? You ain't teaching me nothing, Jack.
Islam.
I mean it like this, man. We should be bold like this. You niggas be arguing over some basketball or some LeBron James or something you don't have nothing to do with. Man, I'm bold like this. I'm telling you, you've been lied to by your own people. They found that the Igbos practiced eating an animal that met biblically clean requirements, as well as complete draining of blood from animals, as well as other laws concerning kasher, noble dantes, aka kosher animals. We already did this. We already had a concept of clean and unclean, acceptable and abominable or taboo. We already had animal sacrifice, like unto the Levitical sacrifice system. We already had a belief in a supreme, all-powerful deity, Chakwu, above all deities. We already understood circumcision on the 8th day, as well as we already had the naming ceremony of the 8-day-old child. We already had given names that bear the names or title of God within us, separation of menstruating women, the keeping of a lunar calendar, Shemitah and Jubilee year, the annulment of death and servitude every 7 and 50 years, burying the dead facing the east, the direction of Jerusalem and the promised land, sit in Shiva, 7-day mourning period, when one must sit on low stool, remain unkept, and shave their head in grief, belief in resurrection, sending the bodies home of the Igbos to die outside of Igbo land to be buried like Joseph and Jacob, desiring not to be buried in a pagan or foreign land, noble Dantes, hospitality, like unto the traditions and legends known of Abram offering water, meal, and lodging to travelers, Levirate type marriages, brothers marrying deceased brothers' wives to carry on the brother's name, marriage negotiations. In Igbo, it was called Oniaki Ib, or Anak Ib, or Ani Aka Ibi, ONYE-AKA-EBE, between families, like the story of Isaac and Rebekah. A type of cities of refuge, when an Igbo who was committed of a crime can seek refuge in his mother's natal home, known in Igbo as Ikwun, just like in your Bible. Shunning of those willingly breaking the law. Laws against sexual perversion, incest, like they had to marry among their people, but outside their immediate tribal clan, meaning it had to be melanated. A rule of the Torah, law, was developed and was passed down by Erie, the rite of passage into adulthood, governance of the people by a conglomeration of tribal elders and judges prior to the institution of kingship dynasties, and the coronation of kings have rituals and customs that closely resemble that of the coronations of King of Judah and Israel, Dantes. These many other Jewish laws and customs were found to be kept by the Igbo people. Sadly, the Christian missionaries forced them to abandon many of these Hebraic practices because though they resemble biblical worship of God, they believe many have been done away with due to the advent of the Messiah, and they believe they practice these customs unto pagan gods. You see how they always try to make you abandon your stuff and adhere to theirs? The Igbos are slowly returning to what we know. And one Igbo man named Abraham, a cantor of the Nasari Jewish community in Nigeria, said, in a nutshell, every law, as I stated in the Torah, was being practiced by our forefathers before the advent of Christianity, except that our fathers went into idol worship, but they kept the tradition as was handed down to them by their forefathers. The archaeological evidence, Paleo-Hebrew scripts, have been found in various places like in the Igbo territories of Nigeria. Drawings like unto the Mogan David Star of David have been found in various places of Igbo land prior to the missionaries' arrival to Nigeria. It's a stone throne at Abu Ghad, which confirmed Paleo ancient Hebrew inscription at the foot throne that indicates that the throne was constructed in honor of Gad, G-A-D. There was also an onyx stone found in Igbo land with Paleo Hebrew word Gad on it. Remember, in 1917, the British discovered about 500 feet below the soil on the place grounds a solid brown Star of David, indicating that the Igbo people may have migrated from the ancient city of David to commemorate this event. Nigerian Kobo coins were minted with the Star of David on it. See, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. The synchronicity, you know, of what I'm talking about. Even the Igbo dress, because the traditional Igbo way of dressing is more Hebraically authentic than that of the Orthodox Jews in the West, who adopted their dress from the 17th and the 18th century Europe. Message. I'm telling you that I understand and encourage Igbos to reclaim their cultural dress, have this more authentic than the modern Jews today. The robes are like types Israelites used to wear in ancient times. The red chieftain cap and the red and black striped stocking cap served as one's keeper, or the yarmulke that the Jews wear, or the head coverings and the ojo. The fringed shawl of the Igbos carry the same weight and meaning as the Jewish tallit. The prayer shawl, read in Numbers 15, 37 and 41. I'm gonna keep sticking the fork in them. It's in your text. It's a book by Remy Iona, Remyilona. In the book, The Igbos, the Jews in Africa. It's on page 73. It tells us that the Igbos have always worn a tallit. Y'all be saying my tallit. I got a plethora of them, like garment, and have always worn caps. And that Igbo women, unlike those of other tribes, have always been very modest and covered themselves, specifically their chest with a wrap. Watch this linguistics. We almost where we need to be, y'all, because we teach it. We got to do this. Linguistics evidence, a linguistic culture evidence of Israel, Gad, Erie, Igbo connection is the names which people bear which honor God. So in Hebrew, titles of God, you got Yahweh, Yah, El, Elohim. In Igbo, you got names, titles of God, the CHI, the Chukwu, and the Chinik. I'm telling you, all this similarities is all the same. I just wanted to pinpoint that. Yeah, I don't want to stay too far in. I just want to pinpoint that little bit. These Europeans know what I'll be talking about. No disrespect, Albion Trilodite or Jews, because they go to your area and study this. No disrespect. And when you be seeing, when you saw Dr. Wesley Muhammad when he was debating the European Jew, and they be acting like they don't know what's going on. Yes, they do. Even when they try to discredit Islam from a melanated perspective, and a lot of brothers try to give it to a pale Arab perspective, that can be fact checked too. You the Arab too. You see, nobody can be mad. And if anybody get mad, scholarship don't fact check you every time. And that's what I love what brothers be doing. Just like this piece of science right here, they be mad about this. This is the gift. Anybody here? This is the gift. All people got to do is give small donations. I'll give you gifts. It's right here. It'd be right in your face. What you mean? And then all the ancient dictionaries tell you who the Arab is. Bertrand Thomas tell you who the ancient Arab is. You know? So I hope people feel okay because we on good time. Pull up the white by law. We're going to talk about that as we close. And as we sum it up. We're gonna sum this whole teaching up and we out of here. Because I don't think our brothers and sisters really read. I think we just want to argue and build. Because for one, if something you don't know and somebody try to convince you of what is not real fast, that should tell you they have a motive.
It was long.
If you say you're a Grand Sheikh and you say, okay, we're not black, we're not Negro, that's your whole thing. Okay, then what? What are you talking? Okay, so then what are you talking about? Because I ain't talking about no paper terror stuff. I'm talking about correcting a mistake. So if we can correct a mistake, what is the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? And we just paraphrase. You don't got to look it up. We know what it is. Everybody got a right of a nationality and a right to change it, right?
Islam. It's wrong.
And no one would be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. And the claim a child replaces the birth certificate. So if you know that, put a check by that. Okay. We know what the House Joint Resolution 75 is. You have the right to annex your L, your Bay, your Day, your L, all that. You have the right to do that. Law. Yep, you sure do. Okay, check. Put a check by that. Boom. The religious rights of the indigenous people. You got the right to not assimilate. You got the right to have your own sheikh. You got the right to have your own teachers. You got the right to use government platforms and all this to promulgate righteousness. You got the right. Yep. The religious rights of indigenous people. Yep. So put a check. Woo.
Wow.
Okay. The SF 181 form. You crazy. I heard that. The SF 181 form, right? Pertaining to ethnicity. Okay. From a historical, when everybody talk about they deal with civics. Well, according to science and law, black means deaf. And black was never used to describe ethnicity in the first century. So if that's the case, when somebody put a form in front of your face and it's dealing with civics or asking you something, or we can try to say this is like the census or whatever, and then they say, well, say who you are and pick all who you are for the record, whatever, and you don't know what this is all about, we should. So I ask people, do they know and understand clearly what the SF 181 form consists of? Why? And if you don't understand it, you steady filling it out every time when you get a job, when you do anything, you're just not even recognizing it. Every time you get somebody to put in and say, are you black or this, this. Anytime you get a job, fill out for insurance, anything, it have those things on there. Am I right?
Islam, they sure do.
Islam.
Yeah,
okay, so everybody say Islam. What I'm saying, so I hope everybody don't act like we in some la-la land. I ain't talking to y'all, but I'm saying in general, people be knowing. I'll be like, wait a minute now. Like, what are we talking about? Right?
Right. I mean, when you get a job, they're gonna ask you all of those questions once you apply form. They want to know, what do you know? Who are you? How do you identify? That type of thing on those forms, and different things too. The SF-181 form, your job applications, different things. They're going to ask you that question.
Yes. Thank you, Dantes. And what do the average Negro fill out? Black, don't they? Tell the truth. Let's be honest. I'm talking or they think they smart. They'll make a box and put other, and you just voided the whole document because you don't know, because you don't understand. See,
they'll select black more than not black because that's what they identify as.
Yes. And so we willingly do this. That's what I'll be saying. I'll be like, dude, how? By how we sign things. We have the right, like I said, you don't have to, you must prove it to everyone and yourself. Can't nobody tell you who you are, but you can correct a mistake. Watch this, y'all. I'm teaching. Watch this. Like, all these documents, yes, they good, but I'll trump it all. I'm teaching. Watch this. Your last name is your what, Dantes? Your coat of arms, right?
Coat of arms, Islam.
Your family crest. So if your last name, your coat of arms, you can annex your free national name to the name your mama gave you at birth. Annexation. You annex your name to the name your mama gave you at birth. Annexation. Timothy Drew, Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali didn't get rid of his last name. This ain't no Islam, Nation of Islam stuff. And we just put an X at the end of your name, like X marks the spot, like we some retardo fardos. My last name ain't no slave name. I just told you my last name is my coat of arms, my family crest.
Islam.
I'm not a slave. My family ain't no slaves. My family ain't come up here from no Africa. My family, I got all my history. My family been here in America, in Florida. My father gave me all the history. My great-grandfather was here. They was in Florida, had land. You know, they had land in Florida. Especially, I forget what other part of Florida. It was all melanated. It'll come to me. I got the documents. So if you talk, we all came from Africa, not my family.
You can do the research.
I'm sorry. Not my family. My family might come from Florida. Own land. I know. I don't know the damn boat.
Yeah. Some might have came over there, but they try to make you feel like your family, you could just do your own research on your own family.
Yeah.
You don't have to have nobody else tell you that your family is from another area your family didn't tell you were from.
Yes. And this is what I'll be talking about. And then when I tell people to write, like when people just be honest, everybody that got a job, we willingly let these people do things for us. Why? Because we don't know our rights and we don't teach it across the stage. And that's why we don't have nothing in our communities. Why? Because we let a third party do everything for us. Think about it. We lazy. We can do everything on our own and we don't have to participate in their game. Why? If you do everything under your religious rights, which is legal and lawful, how? The Amish do it, the Mormon do it. That's how.
That's long.
And so if what I'm talking about, if we talk about all this, Dantes, then we got to understand what is white by law. And we're not gonna read all in it, but let's just let's open it up a little bit. Let's read a little bit of the intro. And do you got any bullets in that stick out to you? Anybody that went over that? Because I heard I heard some brothers talking about this, a so-called Sheikh, and he like, well, you see, this ain't got nothing to do with us. And I'm like, well, do you have? Are you reading? Are you going over this, or are you just laughing and joking? Are you talking about nationalization or naturalization and white by law? When you ask them more, what's your nationality? What's your race? And what's your status? They'll be like, you ask them, are you free white? Pertaining to language, pertaining to things today, you start asking these brothers stuff and they won't have no answer. But they'll laugh and joke and just be rapping and talking about other people. And I say, see, that stuff goofy, y'all. That's some court gesture stuff. Because if you educated, you should have a clear understanding of what this is all about and break it down for people. Because if you're saying, so what is your nationality? So what are you basing? Because I'm down with reparations too. But Negro, Black, and color and African Americans not getting reparations. So what are we, brother? When you say what your status is, because we all got a status. See, this is what I be telling people. It's like, you got a status, right? You should. Come on. Right. Like this is simple. And I think that's how they be over jumping. I said, dude, come on. So what are you then? On paper, somebody say, what's your ethnicity? What's your status? If they put all these things in front of you, what? So you telling me you're gonna pick black? You go. So if that form was in front of these so-called sheiks' face and they put in front of their face, what they gonna pick, Dantes? See, I told you these Negroes will lead you into a burning house because they gonna play around and say and laugh and it's like a Chester cat. And we gonna pick black. No, the hell we ain't, fool.
Right.
You see, Dantes?
Islam.
Remember, because you can be guilty by the words that you say. People don't even be listening. I say, okay, so if you don't understand what she's saying, then what you gonna sign? When they say, well, fill out and tell me what you are, what you gonna sign? What you gonna put? Because if you got Negro, black, color, African American, African booty scratcher, and then status, and then you got white, and then you say, well, what do they need? I'm gonna put black, or I'll put African booty scratcher. More ain't on there. Because more is your nationality. You know, I'm asking your status, retardo, fardo. Only thing you gonna pick one. And this is what I be telling people when I say, no, you see, that's stupid.
Right. I would, we pick what we identify as, and if we speak in status, white. Because I mean, you have to then, like we have here, you going into what it is, you know, as far as status, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin per se. Well, if we're speaking about it in a certain, right now we're talking about
in the proper context, right?
In the proper context, white by law. When you were asking about, white by law. When you were asking about the bullet points, I'm looking at just the first sentence. I'm having a hard because Congress in 1790 restricted naturalization to white persons. And then, you know, in a lot of these, you know, with persons, that's also included things like institutions and things like that.
Yeah.
Also,
and what determined a white person?
Islam.
What determined a white person? Because remember, I showed y'all the book, The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War. If you got that little bit of tittle of black Negro blood in you, you was a Negro. Mulattoes, I'm telling you. See, this is what I be telling. It's like, wait a minute now. But then when we talk about white by law and white cargo, you know what I mean? And white cargo and Arab slave trade. When they enslaved those Europeans, so much stuff we can talk about. They were white and they were slaves. Whether one was white, however, was often no easy question. Whether one was white, however, was no easy question. Because remember, Dante, before Abraham Lincoln was a president, he defended the Moore in court, the Spencer and Dungy case, right?
Right.
See? You see? So we want brothers and sisters to look at this and have a real conversation instead of people just laughing, skipping around. They're like, okay, well then, if something to put in front of you and say, fill out what pertains to you, your status, and you say this not you, and it got black, African American, and they got all the other stuff on there, and you say none of this pertains to you, what are you going to fill out, sir? Because it says check all pertaining to you. So none of this pertaining to you, and you say this is talking about them. So on there, you're gonna pick black. You see, Dante, people from Africa don't even call themselves black. I mean, and people ain't going over this. You got to examine this with an eye, not play no games. You got to look at this with the eye, the racial prerequisite cases. You got to look at this whole thing with an eye. Because the courts, you saw, didn't determine who you were. Just because someone was lighter or darker, it didn't. You have the Spencer and Dungy case prove this. I hope brothers read this with an eye, with a clear eye. Because if that's the case, then indeed the Negroes gonna get y'all caught up in some 14th Amendment Negro black slave stuff. See, this don't take long. I just wanted y'all to look at the document and read it for yourself and ask some questions. Because these people will get you caught up. They'll say, yeah, I went to college. Listen to what they saying. And I'll say, a whole bunch of people went somewhere. I went to the store. That don't mean I bought nothing. I went in the Gucci store. That don't mean I came out with nothing. You see, you ain't finished. So when people be talking about things, yeah, you went, but you ain't completed. You might have opened something up, but it takes a certain aptitude to break it down, to dissect it with your test tubes and the beakers, and to be honest with your dissertation and with the information that you gather and compile from the information that you had. And if you get more information, and if you've been proven that what you're saying is wrong later on down the line, you can be sincere and check yourself and say, from the information that's been discovered, I have to correct what I was saying. Why? Because that's what information does. That's why I say, when as a scientist, we are always in the lab, we are always in a laboratory with our test tubes and our beakers. How? Advancing on what? The wisdom, because we are working in our progress. That's why I say we add on. You had the rotary phones, now you got cell phones. Come on. The United States versus then, when the courts tried to see who was this and who was that, and they couldn't. So I want brothers and sisters to research this, the legal construction of race. When I talk about prerequisites meaning you got to know this before you go here. How you don't get caught up when people not knowing something. You know, the matter of color, race, and the American legal process, the colonial period. It's a classical case book, Race, Racism, and American Law. It's a 3rd edition. Both works provide exhaustive, meticulous research and invaluable studies of the legal burdens imposed on Blacks in North America over the last few centuries. In both works, brothers and sisters, Black and white are treated as natural categories rather than concepts created through social and, at the least, particularly through legal interaction between people, not initially racially defined in those terms. But the discussion in the books of the arrival of the first Africans in colonial North America exemplified the tendency. Higginbotham writes in 1619, here you go again with that 1619 crap, when these first 20 Blacks arrived in Jamestown, there was not yet statutory process to especially fix their legal standing of Blacks. You know, that's, you know, what they talk about. Just like in Jamestown, when you say they came here and were traded for food stuff. But I want people to read this because we have to do series of this. We have to break this stuff down in sections. That's why I'll be challenging people to come to class and get the documents. And don't let no people get you caught up in fragments. Because if that's the case, I love Noble Drew Ali, but we can add on. When people be saying they orthodox, that means you stuck in a way. I'm not orthodox. I respect you, but I'm not orthodox. It's nothing. I teach nothing orthodox. I teach nothing tradition. I give credit to Prophet Drew Ali, but I deal with all scholars. I deal with the brain, and the brain has, and the wisdom has no nationality, no jurisdiction. And I'm not going to let nobody put no jurisdiction on my wisdom and the great thinkers of the world. You got to be crazy. But when we're dealing who we are, we have to look at this with a clear eye and be educated and be lawful and sit down to say, okay, well, this is this and that is that. We have to do that. And so I just want to leave it at that. My hour and 20 minutes is up. I thank y'all, brothers and sisters. Please research this. White race consciousness is so many different concepts on here. I challenge brothers and sisters to read this. If you want this, I'll get it to you. You should read it. And then you should teach it to your babies at a young age. So I give gratitude for brothers and sisters sticking with me.
Islam. I had one thing about it, just since we weren't going to get all the way into it. But so in the first words of the subject on citizenship, Congress in 1790 restricted naturalization to white persons. And when we look at naturalization, it is the legal process by which a foreign national voluntarily becomes a citizen of a country they were not born in, such as becoming a United States citizen. In the US, this involves meeting eligibility requirements, such as providing good moral character and continuous residency as a lawful permanent resident of a specific period.
Dantes, aka amnesty oath.
Islam.
AKA amnesty oath.
Islam. Pledge allegiance and different things to that country. But it brought me back to when we were talking about being a domestic terrorist. And these domestic terrorists, they are different individuals in groups that are within the country. So if we like the United States or so whatever, who uses violence or acts of violence, often inspired by US-based anti-government, racial, religious, or other single-issue extremist ideologies to achieve political, ideological, or social goals by intimidating or coercing the civilian population or influencing government policy. While the FBI doesn't officially designate organizations as terrorists, they do assess the threat landscape and track ideological motivated criminal activity that could lead to a domestic terrorism incident. Like you say, the ones when they're just searching the internet, they waited for you to say something crazy because they on the internet task force is basically what we could be talking about with that. But my point was though, when we spoke about the naturalization thing, and as far as just what everybody was trying to do, businesses, individuals, these type of things, they were wanting to be citizens of something else, basically, that they weren't born in, I guess, give or take, something that they weren't just a part of. They wanted to join these things so badly and things. So, but they wouldn't allow you to join unless you considered yourself a white person. You know, if your business or you as an individual free, basically, that type of thing. You identified a certain way. But they were not allowing people to, they were restricting, so-called Congress in 1790 were restricting naturalization to white persons in general. I just wanted to say that basically that just brought me to understanding what naturalization was in general. And basically you want to be a part of this thing so badly. You want to be a part of it. That you weren't born in, so-called. You weren't born in this thing. You want to be a part of it. And you want to go through the so-called naturalization process. Business, individual, because free persons, a person is also a business. And you wanted to join this thing like the United States. Basically, you want to be under this organization.
Yep. That's why, that's why I say the religious laws trump everything, and the importance of the religious laws. When certain people came here from certain parts of the country, and they came under religious laws, when they came under the Canaanite temple with the prophet. When you read a little bit more in the Sacred Drift of Peter Lambert Wilson book, when you read a little bit more, a lot of people will catch what I'm talking about. When you start looking at the Celtic history, you'll be like, well, damn, this type of people that deal with the science, you'll start piecing these things together. But I really still believe, it's not a belief, it's a knowing that self-identifying is a powerful thing, and identifying as a slave is a powerful thing as well. So, when we're dealing with this law, when we're dealing with who we are as a people, and especially in a court of law, ethnicity, I think we have to be matter factual, Dantes, and be careful. That's why I like having these ciphers, because when you can really tell if a person is really serious with their studies and not trying to give a religious or a Moorish perspective, but say, forget all the so-called Moorish stuff. Let's just do it the right way and say, well, brother, we should have a common denominator, and that's who we are as a people. We're not here to overthrow no government. We're saying we're part of the Constitution with the 20 sections. I done broke down our law, Declaration of Human Rights. We're not saying nothing. We're not here to overthrow no government. All we're doing is putting things out. Yeah, that's it, which we have the right. Just like our European Jews have the right. Just like everybody have the right. Just like the Al-Islam Muslim. Just like the so-called Indian. Just like the so-called Sheikhs. Everybody have their right, their religious right, and we do too. And we have the right not to be identified with words that's synonymous to slavery. You have the right. And when you understand that, then you gave it all back. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. When we don't use the words that's synonymous to slave, Negro, Black, and color, and African American, when we understand this, we can have this conversation about these topics, about white by law, and the SF 181 form, and the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, and the House Joint Resolution, and so many other documents that show we're not Negro and Black or African American, and all these topics, and to show who we are in law, and show that our religious laws and what was taken from us from so-called slavery was our nationality and our spirituality. I think, not only I think, we have the right to speak from this perspective. That's all I wanted to say. Anybody else got anything else? I don't think so. I think we lost Noble Dantes.
Just gratitude.
But if anybody,
gratitude,
you say what, Mozo?
I said just gratitude on the illumination and the importance of this topic. It'll always be relevant.
Gratitude. And like I said, I got some other, like, I always going to give gifts after my builds. Like people, like I know Carlin was here last time and he was speaking of, talk about the Akashic records. I say, remember, as a mapping a guy is going to have a manuscript and he can walk you through it. That's why when I tell people absolute power can corrupt you. And sometimes when people get that power and they try to use it so good for themselves that it mess them up, but I share everything. Why? Because I want to be surrounded by those that can be uplifted. I want to be surrounded by those that understand, that can see the importance of community, to see the importance of what we're trying to build here at the BBT, and show people that everyone ain't like what we think. We have some good people out here that have a mission, that sacrifice some things to do this, and we can use our own funds to do it. And I have all the literature that everybody talk about to build our own libraries. Like I saw a Beyonce sister, I don't know if it's true or not, Solange, and she's a millionaire, and they say she opened up an urban library. And here it is, I have a library. And you see the importance of this. I have millions of books and documents. That's why I'm saying the importance of this, and we need the people help. And I can give everybody a tax and receipt while we're giving our money to Uncle Sam. But this is the Akashic records, you know, for my brothers to study. I have everything to help us get to a level of where we need to be. Because as I leave y'all with this analogy, Michael Jordan had the Big Mac. Larry Bird didn't have nothing, but Larry Bird wanted to play Michael Jordan for his Big Mac. So if Larry Bird beat Michael Jordan, he get Michael Jordan Big Mac. But if Michael Jordan shake the hell out of Larry Bird, what do Michael Jordan get? Nothing. He already got the Big Mac. So you waste all your energy, potential, hurting yourself, playing somebody for something that's already yours. Just like when brothers be wearing their turbans and fezes and people around you be like, oh, that's ugly or something. And then you put it down and then you see all the European Jews and everybody with your headdress on. And you're going to let somebody tell you that you identify like somebody else and they don't, but they say they Christians or study the Bible. And right in your Bible, the high priest wore a turban with the jewels on it. The follower of Yahshua wore a bonnet. The Muslim called a kufi. They wore a tunic, cotton or silk, with the fringes, with them all embroidery, Dantes. So what they talking about? See? You see? It ain't nothing nobody can say. When they see you, they say, oh, Dantes, that's a Muslim. No, Dantes understand he's under the triple rose. He from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. The high priest wore a turban with the jewel on it. Dantes is a high priest. When he wears kufi, it's a bonnet.
Follow Yahshua.
Whatever the hell you want to call it. When he want to wear his native garments, cotton or silk, those are his native garments. What we talking about? He ain't dressed like no Muslim. Over, you get the lexicon and all that dress I'll show you with the sash and the girdle. You'll be seeing Dantes.
It's long.
See, you see how easy we can clear this up. So be proud, my brothers and sisters. Be proud of who you are. Connect yourself to all history. The hairdress that you want to wear is yours. You have the right to wear the hairdress because the copy copied you. And if a person want to say you an Arab, okay, yeah, you are an ancient Arab, A-R-A-P, based off history. Yes, you are. Pertaining to all the European writers in the history, yes. Yes, you are the ancient Arab. From Bertrand Thomas to Vladimir Dale, his dictionary, yep. Stick a fork in them, so there ain't nothing nobody else can say. You are the Igbo. You are the Jew, the ancient Jew. You are him. You all that. See, brothers and sisters, we ain't on nobody's side. This is the last piece. You see that? The real Indian is the Negro, the Blackamoor. And the Nation of Islam, they had this stuff. They all had what I'm telling y'all. So I just want to tell people that wisdom is going to get us where we need to be. Education, not no spookism, not no mystery God. Real history, real education, real economics, understanding that we're taxes in for the federal government and what we can do with our finances and build our infrastructure. Loving each other, because the biblical scriptures all say the same thing. We just caught up in mistranslation, and we all look the same. That's the problem with us as a people. We cannot let people draw a line down our back anymore, brothers. You the Ishmaelite, the Moors, all that, we all brothers and sisters. And once we unite and fight for what's right, because we got together, however that goes, self-destruction, we headed for self-destruction, man. I mean, for real. And now we on some religious genocide. Now we on some religious genocide with each other, y'all. So I just tell my brothers and sisters, man, to seek in your heart something bigger than yourself. Let's study a little bit more. Let's come together. Let's share this history. And let's teach more. If anybody got any more questions, please send them to us, or we can ask questions, because I want people to start asking questions before I can answer questions. Don't be afraid. And I'm not going to tell nobody what I know. I'm going to give you everything that can be proven. And we move in that fashion. So once again, I give y'all gratitude. Thank y'all for your time. Thank everyone for that give donations. Thank you, man. I love y'all, man. If anybody got nothing else, Marquez, can you give us our Moorish American prayer and take us out, please?
Islam, Sheikh, Islam, Pride, Islam, all of our folks who tapped in on all of our social media platforms today. If you did appreciate and enjoy the teachings, and if you learned something, be sure to donate. We do have a Temple Zelle account at 602-473-8767 at the bottom of the screen. And then also you can visit our BBT website, our Temple website at bbtsciencetemple.com. And of course, you can subscribe to the BBT Science Temple YouTube page and Facebook. And if you're interested in White by Law, any of the wisdom that she covered today that we went over, please email our Temple email at burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com. Again, and that's for all book inquiries and questions. mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, bindingbooks.com for all book inquiries in the email. So Islam again, Sheikh, for the teachings today.
Gratitude to you.
Gratitude.
Honors and gratitude to y'all, man. And thank you, brother, for taking time today.
Islam. I hit us with our map. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Alakim, Ayah Esha Ayah. Islam, amen. Peace, light, and illumination. Islam.
Peace.
Islam, nobles, Islam, Sheikh.
Islam, gratitude. Take us out.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you.